Welcome to Cheater Confessions. Let's get started with today's story. When Shannon came back from Denver, the first thing I noticed was the light on her face. Something in her expression, a spark that didn't belong to the woman who had left 3 days ago. She was smiling wider than usual, humming under her breath as she set her suitcase by the wall. "Hey you," she said, her voice light, almost musical. She tossed her jacket onto the hook and kissed me on the cheek like everything was fine between us. It wasn't. We hadn't really talked in weeks, only short sentences about groceries, bills, or work. Our house had become quiet, like the pause between thunder and rain. "I brought you something," she said, digging through her bag. She pulled out a white mug with a red heart and the words Colorado Cares printed across it. "For your morning coffee." I forced a small smile and took it. "Thanks," I said. She moved to the kitchen, opening the fridge. "Did you forget to toss the milk again?" "I guess so." Shannon laughed, a sound that used to mean warmth. Now it only echoed. She kept talking about the conference, the lectures, the hotel, the dinners, filling every silence like she was afraid of what might surface if she stopped. I listened without reacting, every word sliding past me. She didn't notice the envelope on the counter, a plain white one, folded once, edges bent from how long I'd kept it in my pocket. I'd gone to the clinic 2 weeks ago, after things between us started to feel off. The doctor had called that morning just hours before she got back. Her voice was kind but direct. "It's positive, Thomas. You'll need to talk to your partner." I waited until Shannon's story trailed off, until her laughter faded. "Shannon," I said quietly. She turned, still smiling. "What's that?" she asked, nodding toward the envelope I was holding. I placed it on the counter between us. "You tell me," I said. Her smile faltered just enough to make the kitchen feel smaller. She stared at the envelope for a long second before reaching for it. Her hands looked steady, but I saw the tremor in her fingers when she peeled it open. One sheet. Clinic letterhead. My name. A few short lines that changed everything. Her eyes stopped halfway down the page, the color drained from her face. "What is this?" I didn't move. "Read it," I said. Her lips formed the words, almost silent. "Positive. For chlamydia." When she looked up, her voice was smaller. "You got tested?" I nodded once. "2 weeks ago." Her eyes darted back to the paper. "That's not... Thomas? That can't be right." "I just got back." "It's right," I said. They confirmed it twice. She stepped closer, reaching for my arm, but I stepped back. "You think I..." No, that's not possible. I haven't..." Her voice cracked. I stayed quiet, watching the panic build behind her eyes. It was like she was flipping through excuses in her head, looking for one that would make the math add up. Finally, she whispered, "I need to sit down." She dropped into a chair and pressed her palms against her forehead. When I didn't move, she looked up again. "There was nothing serious," she said. "It was a mistake, a stupid night. I didn't even..." "What was his name?" Her eyes widened. "What?" "The man." She hesitated. The silence stretched. Then, barely audible, "Frederick." I nodded. "From the last conference?" Her eyes glistened. A small, broken nod. "It didn't mean anything." "Everything means something," I said. A moment passed. Then I added, "You were with him again this time, weren't you?" "In Denver." She blinked, stunned. "That's why you were glowing when you walked in," I said. "You didn't just cheat. You came home lit up by it." Her mouth opened, then closed. She didn't deny it. That silence told me everything. For a long moment, neither of us spoke. She looked at the paper again, her tears dropping onto the words. I turned away. "We're done talking for now." As I walked out, she whispered my name, but I kept moving down the hall. The mug she'd brought me sat untouched on the counter. That night, I didn't sleep in our bed. I took a pillow from the couch and went to the guest room, closing the door quietly behind me. Through the thin wall, I could hear her pacing. Slow steps back and forth, drawers opening, the bathroom door creaking. Around midnight, the noise stopped. Then I heard it. Soft crying, the kind you try to muffle but can't. I lay still, eyes on the ceiling, listening. Once, I almost got up. Then I remembered every time I'd done that before, comforted her when she was guilty but never honest. Not this time. Morning came, gray and quiet. I found her in the kitchen staring at the coffee maker like she'd forgotten how it worked. When she saw me, she straightened up. "I made some," she said, forcing a small smile. "I don't want any." "Thomas, please, can we just—" "No." She set the cup down, her hands shaking. "It wasn't planned," she said. "I didn't mean for it to happen." I leaned against the counter. "But it did." Her eyes filled again. "It was one night. After the dinner. We were both drinking. It was stupid." I didn't say a word. I'd learned silence cuts deeper than shouting. "You have to believe me," she said, voice trembling. "It didn't mean anything." I looked straight at her. "You keep saying that like it makes it smaller." She bit her lip, started crying again. I let her. After a moment, I said, "I'm getting retested today. Then I'm calling a lawyer." She froze. "No, please don't do this. We can fix it. I'll quit my job. I'll go to counseling." "You already decided what mattered to you," I said. "Now I get to decide what matters to me." Her shoulders dropped. She didn't follow me when I walked out the door. Outside, the morning air was cold. I took a deep breath and kept walking. The clinic waiting room smelled like disinfectant and fear. I sat in the corner, staring at the floor until the nurse called my name. The doctor didn't waste words. She reviewed the file, looked up, and said, "The results are accurate, Thomas. We'll confirm with another test, but you should have your partner tested too." I nodded. "Already told her." Her eyes softened. "I'm sorry you're dealing with this." I thanked her and left. That afternoon, I found the conference brochure Shannon had left on the table. Frederick's name was printed near the sponsor section. I called the number listed under his company and asked for him. He picked up on the second ring. "This is Frederick." "It's Thomas," I said. "Shannon's husband." There was a pause. Then a small exhale. "Thomas, I didn't expect—" "I'll make it quick," I said. "Did you sleep with my wife in Denver?" His voice cracked. "We had drinks. Things got out of hand. I'm sorry." That's all I needed. "Please don't." I hung up. That night, Shannon waited in the living room when I came home. Her eyes were swollen, face pale. "You talked to him," she said. "Yes." She covered her face with her hands. "I'm so sorry. I hate myself for it." "I believe that," I said quietly. "But it doesn't change what happened." "I'll do anything," she whispered. "Just tell me what to do." "Get tested," I said, "and find somewhere else to stay for a while." Her breath caught. "You're kicking me out?" "I'm asking for space," I replied. "I need it to think. You need it to understand what you've done." She nodded slowly, tears streaming down her face. When I went upstairs, she was still sitting on the couch, holding the envelope. I didn't look back. The next morning, I called a lawyer, Linda Cho, a calm woman with a voice that didn't flinch. We met the same day. She listened while I laid it out. The test results, the confession, the phone call with Frederick. No drama, just facts. When I finished, she slid a form across the desk. "We'll start the separation process," she said. "If you want to file for divorce later, we can transition easily." "Let's start," I said. That night, I ignored Shannon's calls. By midnight, there were 8 missed calls and 6 texts. "Please talk to me." "I'm sorry. I'll fix this." 2 days later, she showed up. I saw her car through the window before she even knocked. When I stepped outside, Shannon looked wrecked, hair tied back, no makeup, eyes red. "Please, Thomas, don't do this," she said. "We can still fight for us." "There's nothing left to fight for." She shook her head. "You're angry. I get that. But please, just let me explain. It was pressure, drinks. I didn't mean—" "Stop," I said. "You keep trying to rewrite what happened. You made a choice. Now we're living with it." She started crying, voice cracking. "I'll go to counseling. Just don't leave me." I kept my voice level. "You already left. You just didn't notice when." For a second, she looked like she couldn't breathe. Then she turned and walked back to her car. The next morning, Linda filed the papers. A week later, Shannon's workplace placed her on leave pending an ethics review about her relationship with a conference sponsor. I didn't report her. Someone else did. A few weeks passed before I heard from her again. One night around 2 in the morning, my phone buzzed with an email notification. The subject line was blank. It was from Shannon. I sat there staring at it for a full minute before opening it. I lost my position. They're reviewing my license. I'm seeing a therapist now. I know I did this to myself. I can't sleep. I don't expect forgiveness. I just needed you to know I'm sorry." That was all she wrote. No begging this time. No excuses. Just regret. I didn't reply. In the mornings, I ran along the river before work. I started eating again, lifting weights, building a rhythm. My friend Cannon met me for dinner one night and asked how I was holding up. "I'm all right," I said. He gave a half smile. "You sound better than I expected." "I'm trying not to live in the wreckage." "Good," he said. "You can't heal by managing her pain. Let her drown or swim. Just don't jump in after her." He was right. Meanwhile, word spread about Shannon's suspension. A mutual friend said she'd moved into a small apartment near downtown. Someone saw her leaving the grocery store, thinner, paler, a shadow of herself. I didn't ask for details. I didn't want them. Every few days, she sent another message, short ones this time. "I'm sorry. I hope you're okay. I'm trying to get help." I never answered. At night, I started sleeping better. The silence that once felt heavy now felt clean. I'd stopped waiting for her voice, stopped checking my phone. Sometimes I'd catch myself remembering small things, her laugh, the way she used to hum when cooking. But the memories didn't hurt anymore. They were just sounds from another life. One morning I looked at the Denver mug still sitting on my counter. The heart print had faded. I turned it upside down and tossed it in the trash. That felt like progress. 6 weeks later, Linda called to say the court date was set. "If she doesn't contest," she said, "it'll be done the same day." She didn't contest. When Shannon walked into the office that morning, I almost didn't recognize her. Her hair was shorter, her face drawn. The confident woman who once filled every room now moved like she was afraid of being seen. She sat across from me, folding her hands in her lap. Linda explained the terms. Property split, accounts divided, no alimony. Shannon nodded through everything without argument. When the papers slid across the desk, she hesitated for just a second before signing. "I guess that's it," she said quietly. "That's it," I replied. She looked up at me. "You were right. You know, it wasn't love. It was an escape. I thought I was missing something, and I destroyed everything instead." I didn't answer. There wasn't anything left to say. Outside the office, she followed me to the parking lot. "Thomas," she said, her voice shaking, "before you go, I need you to know that I did get tested. It's the same." I stopped but didn't turn around. "I'm sorry you have to deal with that," I said. She nodded, even though I wasn't looking. "Take care of yourself," she whispered. I drove straight to the clinic afterward. The doctor smiled gently. "It's improving," she said. "You're responding well to treatment. Just finish the medication and come back in a month to be sure." I nodded, feeling something I hadn't felt in months. Not joy, not peace, just the faint sense that I was moving forward. That night, I sat outside. The world felt quiet. For the first time in a long while, that silence didn't scare me. It felt like peace. 3 months after the divorce, I built new routines. Work, gym, dinners with family. On weekends, I started writing again. Nothing big, just stories that had been sitting in the back of my mind. Every page made me feel a little more like myself. One Thursday evening, I stopped by the grocery store after work. I turned down the frozen aisle, and there she was. Shannon. She was wearing a light blue coat, hair tied up, and a cart half full of groceries. For a second, she didn't see me. She was laughing with another woman, maybe a friend, maybe someone from her therapy group. Then she looked up. Our eyes met. The laughter vanished, replaced by something quieter. Not shame, not longing, just recognition. She gave a small nod. I nodded back. That was enough. No words, no scene. Just two people who had once shared a life now passing in a place where nobody knew their history. She'd come back from that conference glowing, and I'd thought it meant renewal. I was wrong. The glow wasn't hers to keep. Now it was mine. I took a deep breath, felt it settle, and thought, the truth didn't break me. It released me. Thank you for watching.